In this video, we're going to show you how to restructure a table if the current structure of the table is not meeting your needs anymore. So let's say, for example, you were running a database and all of a sudden needs arose for new columns, or data was longer than what you expected. Then you can go ahead and change the structure of the table using what is called the alter command. So in order to run an alter command, you basically say alter table, the name of the table, and then the action that you want to run. There are several actions that you could run. You could say add and then the column name. So this allows you to add a new column. Then you give a column definition the same way that you have been taught before with null, not null, default values, etc. If you wanted to change the existing column, you could use the keyword modify, specify the name of the column that you want to change, and then the new column definition. If you want to actually change the name of the column as well as the definition, you can use the keyword change, as specify the old column name, use the new column name, and then provide the new column definition. If you want to drop a column completely from the table because you no longer need that column, you can say drop and then the name of the column. If you want to add new constraints, you add constraint and then you would specify the table constraint the same way that we specified the table constraints. If you wanted to drop the primary key or the foreign key, you say drop primary key and then stop there. You don't need the table constraint. Or drop foreign key and then the actual name of the foreign key. So for example, if I was asked to add a new column of the customer type to the customer table with the default value of commercial, I would say alter table customer add customer type with its data type with the default of commercial. So what I want you to do is alter two tables, both the employee table and the certificate table, following the instructions on this slide. So go ahead and try this on your own, pause this video, and then come back to compare your answers. All right, welcome back. So I'm going to go ahead and just copy the questions from the slides, and I'm going to comment them out. So this first one, I will just put in a multi-line comment by using a slash star and a star slash. And I'll do the same thing for the second one. All right, so this first question asks us to add a new column named last name with the appropriate data type. So we need to start with the employee table. So we're gonna say alter table and then the employee table. And then this asks us to add a new column. So we're gonna add a new column of last name with the appropriate data type. So we'll use varchar and then we'll do 25 is probably sufficient and then do not null. So I could run this, test this to see if it adds the last name, or I could just go ahead and do all of these that are associated with the same table at once. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. The next one asks us to change the name column to first name and increase the total number of characters to 25. So we'll go ahead and change the name column to first name and we'll increase the characters to 25 characters. And we'll say that this is not null as well. Be careful that when you change a column, if it was not null and you left off not null, it would now allow null values. So we'll go ahead and do the third one, which asks us to add a new column, and this new column is going to be salary with the appropriate data type of double, and let's just do 10 too. And let's have this also be not null. And then finally, it asks us to remove the birth date column, so we'll go ahead and just say drop and then the name of the column birth date. I'll go ahead and run this query. It says that it successfully was executed. We'll come back over to the table. I can actually come over here and click on the employee table. We'll see that the first name, last name, and salary all now exist in the table, and the birth date is now gone. We see that it has the appropriate data types that I specified and that they're all not null. I can also come over to the ERD and see that employee does have first name, last name, and salary included there. So now let's go to the certificate table. So we're going to alter the certificate table, and then we're asked to drop the foreign key constraint from certificate to employee. So we are asked to drop this foreign key constraint. So let's go to our table and figure out which foreign key constraint that is. So we click on the certificate table, and we can see that the certificate foreign key 1 is the foreign key that deals with the employee table. So we'll go ahead and alter this and drop the foreign key, and then I just specify the name of the foreign key that I'm going to drop, which is certificate foreign key 1. We'll go ahead and run this, come back to our table, click on the certificate table. We can see that the certificate foreign key 1 has successfully been dropped. Then it asks us to add the constraint back. So I'll go ahead and just copy this constraint from up above when we did it the first time. And now I'm going to alter the table certificate. I'm going to now add that constraint back. So I just copied and pasted the constraint information right after the add. I'll go ahead and run this query. It says that the table was successfully altered. If I click on the certificate table, we'll now see that the foreign key 1 is now back.